Hi, my name is Beverly, and this is my story for His glory. I moved from New York City several years ago with my two sons, and we moved to the Eastern Shore of Virginia, and we lived with my sister for a few years. We have a brother who was in a terrible head-on collision, and he needed a caretaker. So we moved to Norfolk where he could be under his doctor's care, and I was his caretaker. While we were there, we was put into a hotel where I was taking care of my children. They were eating, and we was living the life until someone called CPS on me. CPS came and they told me I had a choice. Either sign the children over to them or go and stay into the shelter. Of course, signing them over was not a choice for me. So we went to the shelter. We went into the shelter. We had our own room, and we had rules that we had to follow while we was in the shelter. But while you're in the shelter, you're only allowed 30 days, but they will give you 15 extra days until you find a place to live. By the 45th day, we didn't find a place to live. But God had allowed me to purchase a small station wagon. So we packed all our things up in the station wagon and we moved out the shelter. I had nowhere to go. I didn't know anyone, and I didn't trust anyone, and I wasn't leaving my sons with any strangers. So I did what I thought I should do. We lived in our car. In the daytime, I did sign my children up. They went to kindergarten and preschool, and I tried to find a job. But of course, with no address, I couldn't find a job. I would pick the children up from school. We would drive around. But you know, God is so good. He would put people in my path, and people blessed me with money. And I would go and feed my children. I wouldn't eat because I didn't care about myself eating. My thing was my sons and to make sure that my sons had food to eat. We would eat, and even the people at the restaurant, we stayed at a Pizza Hut restaurant. The manager was so nice. She allowed me to wash my kids up there. She would give us leftover pizza that they had cooked in the back. And I knew that God, no matter what, God was with us. We would leave that Pizza Hut. I would never tell the people that I had nowhere to go with my kids. I drove to Virginia Beach. I put the suitcases around the windows to protect my children as they slept. I locked the doors on the car. I sat in that front seat and I prayed all night till that sun rose. And I took the kids back to Pizza Hut, washed them up, they brushed their teeth, they changed their clothes. I took them to school. And we pretended that we was fine. We was happy because no matter what, I still had my kids and I know that they loved me. As time went on, God began to open some doors for us. We stayed at different people's houses. Every month it seemed like we was moving to friend house to friend house to friend house. But God still was blessing me. I ran into some people. They blessed me with some money. They gave me enough money that I was able to stay in another hotel for a few nights with my kids just so that we could be inside for a change because winter was coming. So I gave up. I said, Lord, I don't know what to do, Lord. I'm out of money. And God spoke to me. He said, go back over to your sister's home for a little bit. So I had to swallow my pride and went. So we went on back across the bay to my sister's house. But God was so good. As soon as we got there, I got a call telling me that my apartment was ready. And I was so happy. And we packed that station wagon back up and we moved back over to Chesapeake, Virginia, where we got our first apartment. And we stayed there a good 7 years, and my sons were able to go to school, and I was just so happy. They was excelling. They didn't have any problems. They was just excelling in school. They were friendly children. They loved people, and we just excelled. And you know, He is so wonderful. Just when you think that you're about to fall, God will come and He will pick you up, and He will dust you off and stand you up, straighten you right on up, and let you keep on going on your path. But God still shined. I always wanted a house. I found a house. We purchased a home. My sons still were growing. One went off to college. One worked. And God was just still busy working with us. But then the dark side came in again. I began to have problems with my ex-husband, and we decided to split up. And the children began to grow, and they met their women, and they began to move on with their lives. And I began to feel lonely. But I knew that scripture says when the son meets the woman, that the mother must take the back seat. I was going through menopause. I was in college and I was struggling with that because I didn't have confidence in myself. And I got on the highway one day and I said, this is it. I'm just so tired, God. I just want to not be here anymore, God. I don't want to be here. If I can't be a part of my son's lives, I'd rather be dead. And I got on that highway and I just began to drive. And Satan was right there in that passenger seat telling me to go faster and go faster. And I was. I looked down at my speedometer and I was doing 95 miles an hour. But I didn't care because I was going to let that steering wheel go. And wherever it went, I just didn't care. But God showed up right on time and he began to minister to me. And he began to tell me that you are my child and I need you. And whatever your heart's desire, I will give it to you. And I said, God, I need help with school, God. God, I wanted a daughter, God, but it's too late for me to have a daughter, God. But God said, hold on. You have grandchildren. He showed me 3 faces. And I said, God, well, who is this third picture? He said, if you stay, you will see who that third picture was. I said, okay, God. I said, God, I trust you. And I know that you've always been by my side, even when I was weak and just had given up. You were there for me. And God showed me those 3 faces. After I got home, I called my son up. And he said, Mom, I got some good news for you. And I said, what? He said, we having a baby. And I was so happy. I said, a baby? And he said, yeah. He said, Mom, guess what? It's a girl. And I just broke down crying. I said, a girl? I said, oh my God. I asked God for a girl. And he's giving me what my heart's desire. I said, oh my God. I didn't believe them. They took me with them to have the sonogram. And that nurse said, yep, it's a girl. I just cried like a baby. They didn't know why I was crying. They know that I had prayed out for a girl. Even though I couldn't have the girl, but God gave me a girl. I was so happy. And I loved that little girl. When she was born, it was like a renewal for me. It was a little lady who I could love and tell her the important things of being a girl. And, God is just so awesome. You think that God is not there, but there's a scripture that says he gives you no more than you could bear. And it's true, he does. Because just at the nick of time when I was about to crash that car, God came in right on time. He took that steering wheel and he blessed me. He told me that I have a purpose here where I thought I was nothing because I let Satan get into my mind and tell me that you are nothing and you're not needed. And God told Satan, get out this car. She is my child and I've got her. And he has always been by my side. God allowed me to graduate from Norfolk State with my bachelor's degree. He blessed me with that girl because I also asked him to help me with school. And I said, Lord, if you would just help me graduate before I turn 50, Lord, I would do anything, everything you want me to do. He did that. He allowed me to graduate. I graduated in May and I turned 50 in July. That's an awesome God right there. He can give you what your heart desires. He gave me that little girl who first words was, I love Grandma. And that just shows you that everything that you ask for, God hears you. He might not give it to you when you want it, but he give it to you just when you need it. You want me to go back to school? And he said, yes, daughter, I do. I'm going to be walking this month right now in September. I'll be graduating on December 12th, 2015 with my master's degree with honors. And I'm just so grateful that God stayed by my side. When I thought I was nothing, he came and showed me that I have a purpose. And he even allowed me to find a church where I feel like a part of this church family. And in this church, I'm stepped up because God is calling me to do more. He said, you feel like you don't like people, but God said you are a people person. You love people, and that's why you struggle with the dealing with people. But God said, I got that too. You just come on and do what you need to do. So I will be giving a word on Sunday on the pulpit. Me on the pulpit is talking to people. God is so awesome. So people out there, do not give up. God is real. He will come to you when you don't even think. You think you by yourself. God is right there. He is so awesome. Just think, He numbered every hair on our head. That's an awesome Father. I love God, and He loves all of us. And that's my story for His glory.